So ask yourself right now, are you allowing God to speak into your finances, or are you listening to someone else? Luke chapter 16, verses 9 through 13 says, "And I say to you, make friends for yourself by unrighteous mammon, that when you fail, they may receive you into an everlasting home. He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much, and he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much. Therefore, if you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in what is another man's, who will give you what is yours to own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." Jesus himself made it very clear, you cannot serve God and mammon. So what exactly is mammon? Mammon is an Aramaic word which means riches, but it came from the name of the Syrian god of riches. Jesus was referring not only to riches, but also the false god that the people knew. We learn in the Old Testament that this god came from Babylon, a word that means sown in confusion. Babylon came from the Tower of Babel and was founded on pride and arrogance. The heart of this pride and what occurred in the city of Babel was the idea that man doesn't need God. Mammon is a prideful, arrogant spirit that says you don't need God if you have riches, and it's the spirit of the world. It's the spirit that rests on money and not on submission to God. Money either has God's spirit on it or a mammon spirit on it. God blesses money that has been submitted to him and that isn't used to replace him. God's spirit rests on submitted money, and he blesses that money. That's why the devil does not devour that money, just as God promised in Malachi chapter 3. Jesus said, you can't serve God and mammon. You will be loyal to one and despise the other. You have to choose. And this is why people are mad at God. The mammon spirit uses the prosperity message to cause people to be loyal to the God of riches. Then when something goes wrong or breaks, they actually end up being mad at God. Mammon promises us security, identity, significance, independence, power, and freedom. Mammon tries to take God's place. It promises us everything that only God can give. Only God can give peace, love, and joy. Mammon wants desperately to rule and is looking for servants. And just as you would expect, Mammon talks to us. It says if you have the right credit cards, the right clothes, the right car, the right house, then you'll be accepted by the right people. Mammon says if you had more money, people would listen to you. You'd be happier. Your marriage would be better. And if you had more money, you could do what you want, go where you want, and live where you want. But ask yourself this, are you believing his lies? This is the big lie. If you had more money, you could help people. Money is the answer to all of your problems. The truth is, Jesus never told anyone that the answer to their problems was more money. Have you ever thought, either we need God to come through or we need someone to give us the money? If we think that most of our problems could be solved if we had more money, then the spirit of mammon has influenced us, and we are living deceived. But Jesus has redeemed us from that spirit, so we can submit our money to him and trust him to provide all of our needs according to his riches and glory, just like he promised in Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. Take a few minutes and discuss the following in your group. What are some active steps you can take to resist the spirit of mammon?